And then let's go to the final APC interview. Now we have gone through the entire submission, which includes summary of experience, CPD, ethics, case study. Okay, right. Then after you submit that, they will give you a date and time. So you go for the interview. Now the interview would look like this. It is a 60 minutes interview. So in the first 3 to 4 minutes, chairperson will welcome you. He will open the discussion and he will introduce you to the assessors, and he will give an introduction about the whole process, about the interview. And then he will, this period would be considered as an icebreaker, so that he will try to calm you down and make you, feel comfortable there. And then he or she will ask you to start the presentation when you're ready. And then candidate should give a presentation on your case study for 10 minutes. And it's very important that you stick to the time limit. Okay. So in order to do that, you have to do a lot of practices. Here, what the panel looks into is your presentation ability. Okay. Can you present something in front of a client? A complex thing, present to a client. That is what they are checking. Okay. And I want to tell you one important thing. When we were trained for assessors, the important thing that they told us is that consider that you become a client. You are a client. Okay. So 3 of the panel members will think that they are clients. So they will put you questions and see you are going to become a chartered surveyor. So can you give reasoned advice to us, 3 of us? That's how they will think. Okay. So the presentation is also like that. You have to give a presentation to, and your presentation skills will check. Then they will question for the next 10 minutes on the presentation, and it includes case study as well. Okay. And this time usually will be divided by the chairman between the assessors. Usually chairman will take around 2 minutes and the assessors will have 4 minutes each. That is the usual way, but it depends on the panels. Then they will go to the second part of the interview, that is the core competencies. They will check your technical competencies, ethics, and the CPDs. So next 25 to 26 minutes, they will focus on that. So that will be done by the fellow assessors. Usually they will take around 13 minutes each. And chairman will always make sure that the interview is moderated, and if candidate is not hearing any question or has trouble in understanding any question, he will try to support it, and he will manage the timing as well. So that is the role of the chairman, and chairman will write each and every question also usually. Okay, they will keep the record keeping for them to use in the at the end of the interview. And then for the next 10 minutes, chairperson will start questioning. Mainly he will question on the mandatory competencies, but he might go through the technical core competencies as well as code of conduct as well. And then there would be another 1 or 2 minutes left at the end of the interview, which chairman will give to the candidate if he wants to add, if he or she wants to add or alter any answers that he has given. And then that time can be used by the candidate to give the final wording to the panel as well. So that would be the 60 minutes process. So RICS is having a very particular emphasis on the process, and they will try to follow the process as it is, because the major the candidate can go for a what is that called, appeal. If say for instance, if he unfortunately fail from the interview, he can appeal that, saying that the process was not followed. Okay, the appeal process doesn't entertain or doesn't check whether the panel was giving a technically correct decision, but they will check whether the process was followed. So candidate always can challenge on the process if the process have not been followed as mentioned in the APCs or mentioned in the RICS pathway guides. Okay, right. Now, how do you, at the end of the day, after the interview, usually interview will usually might have around 40 to 50 questions on all the competencies, and most of the candidates asking from me usually what is the benchmark? Is it 80%? of the questions you should answer or something like that. It's not like that. The assessors will take a holistic view of your training, final assessment, presentation, and interview. Okay, so if you have a poor performance in one area, maybe balanced out by an excellent performance elsewhere. Okay, so it's a holistic approach. And RIC is looking for you not to be only technically competent, but also to be a good ambassador for the profession. Be aware of the professional and commercial implications of your work. Understand clients' and employees' objectives, and have up-to-date knowledge of legal and industrial matters, and have the confidence to work unsupervised. So these are the things we will check at the end. So what is the benchmark? How do you as a panel, how do you decide whether a member passed or not? That is, the benchmark is you will check as a panel member, you should be satisfied that, okay, if you put this member in front of a client and you can say that he's a RICH accredited or chartered surveyor, and are you comfortable that he will give a good reasoned, well-reasoned advice to the client based on the competencies, and those advice should be professionally correct as well and ethically correct. So that is a benchmark. So we should have that, the panel member should have that satisfaction at the end of the whole process. Then they will decide to pass or fail.